Tonight we'll introduce you to the man who's spending his summer on a mountaintop serving as the first alert for wildfires.
I'm Shannon Newth in Highwood. Coming up, I'll show you how this rural community is planning to go safely back to school this fall.
And later, in our Ad Watch, we're breaking down and analyzing ads attacking gubernatorial candidate Greg Gianforte.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
Also tonight, another candidate running for governor releases economic plans for the state. Thanks for making MTN a part of your night. I'm Tim McGonigal.
And I'm Hallie Schwinnard. First tonight, we continue our Safely Back to School initiative, exploring different perspectives and plans for the upcoming academic year. Schools face different challenges depending on the size of the student population.
Until recently, Choteau County had 0 confirmed coronavirus cases. Today, there are 2 active cases.
MTN's Shannon Newth takes us to the rural community of Highwood in Choteau County to hear their plans for the fall.
Right now, around 108 students in kindergarten through 12th grade are enrolled here at Highwood Public Schools. The size of the student population is a big factor in determining how classes will be conducted and how the school will operate this fall.
Looking forward to the upcoming year is a big challenge because we want to get it right. And right now, I don't know that anybody knows what is right.
For now, the school board and administrators are making adjustments to classrooms, moving desks around to social distance, and utilizing the hallways to store extra furniture.
We're creating plexiglass barriers to put between the students so that when we aren't 6 feet, they'll be separated with these barriers, clear barriers. And they're just on one side because we can distance front and back 6 feet in all of our classrooms.
Because of that, students won't be required to wear a mask in the classroom, but they'll be asked to put one on in the hallways and common areas as well as on the bus.
At any point that you need to go into the hallway or you need to mask up in the classroom, you just put on your mask.
Students who ride the bus will have their temperature checked when they get on, and those who get dropped off or walk to school will get theirs checked when they enter the building. The school year starts August 20th, but before then, staff and even parents will be trained in things like Google Classroom should school return to remote learning. In Highwood, Shannon Newth, MTN News.
We were curious about kindergarten enrollment and how parents were reacting to the virus, but local school officials tell us it seems to be holding steady. We spoke with Ruth Euchre, who's the assistant superintendent for grades K through 6. She says things have been right on track.
We actually were kind of concerned that it would really affect our enrollment, but actually it didn't. We were pleasantly surprised that our numbers came in right at the target that we were hoping for. So it really didn't impact. It might have impacted how we gathered enrollment and what that process looked like. And we were very cautious during the COVID timing of it, but other than that, it did not impact our registration numbers at that time.
You can check out more information on the school's plan on August 10th with the GFPS meeting.
All right, here's a look at the latest coronavirus numbers across the state. 1,392 active cases. Hill County reporting 27 cases, Cascade County with 74, Lewis and Clark 53. We've seen 55 total deaths, as of now, and there are 69 active hospitalizations. Well, it was another hot, sunny, and dry day across the state. Meteorologist Elizabeth Copeland joins us now with a first look at the forecast.
Well, a few thunderstorms have started developing across north central Montana, keeping us quite a bit cooler than the rest of the state. The rest of the state is seeing the blue skies and high pressure move in. So places like Butte and parts of southwest Montana, a good 19-20 degrees above where we were this time yesterday. Slightly cooler, or not, if not just at those same temperatures for north central Montana because of the cloud cover and the few showers that are cooling us off. But just north of Butte in Helena, capital city, Opportunity Bank ICAM showing a lot more of the blue sky moving in, and we're going to see that high pressure start to kick out those clouds and thunderstorms across north central and northeast Montana as we head through the rest of this week. So as high pressure moves in, those storms are going to move out tonight, leaving only a few clouds in the sky in Great Falls. Tonight's low is at 59 degrees, and when we start that warm in the morning, already starting at that 60-degree mark, temperatures only go up from there, and they're going to skyrocket to the 90s tomorrow afternoon. So we talk more on that warmer weather and our next chances of rain return coming up in our extended forecast.
Well, when wildfires start in some of Montana's most remote areas, a small group of people will be watching from the mountaintops to provide the first warning. They spend their summers as fire lookouts. MTN's Jonathan Ambarian introduces us to one of those lookouts and reports on why their job is so important.
4 years ago, Levi Brinegar says he was working in a Pennsylvania steel mill when he got an email that changed everything for him.
It was like, live on top of a mountain by yourself, spot fires, and I'm like, yes, please.
Since 2016, Brinegar has made his home for the summer at the Stonewall Mountain Lookout, a wood and cinder block tower in the mountains north of Lincoln. For about 3 months each summer, he's keeping an eye out for any sign of smoke. The Fire Lookout's main piece of equipment is this, the Osborne Fire Finder, a tool more than 100 years old. When someone sees a column of smoke, they rotate the disc, then use this sight to determine exactly what direction the fire is coming from.
You call that into what we call a Helena fire desk. What they're also going to want to know is the color of the smoke, the drift, where the smoke is drifting off, rough size, if it's 1/10 of an acre, if it's an acre, sky weather, if it looks like there's a cell coming in, wind speed, wind direction.
Forest Service leaders say having a live lookout is one of their best tools for finding a fire and putting it out when it's small, before it threatens communities.
More than a satellite going over, it's that person being able to determine what's the difference between climatic conditions causing steam rising above a treetop versus what's actually smoke. It's the lookout, that a trained lookout, that can figure that out, get our firefighters to that place they need to be quickly.
The Helena Lewis and Clark National Forest currently staffs 5 lookouts: Stonewall, Porphyry Peak north of White Sulphur Springs, and Patrol Mountain, Prairie Reef, and Bear Top along the Rocky Mountain front. A 6th tower, Granite Butte, southeast of Lincoln, is currently rented to the public. But if fire conditions become bad enough, Forest Service leaders are considering putting it back into service with a lookout. Leaders say beyond the reports lookouts provide, they also have symbolic value.
To have somebody stationed, sitting above a community, watching out for it, is a powerful symbol.
The lookout job isn't right for everyone, but for those cut out for it, there are plenty of benefits to the isolated location, from frequent wildlife visits to dramatic weather. Brinegar says he'll keep doing his part to make sure the tradition continues.
You find peace within yourself when you're up here. With everything going on right now, this is the best place to be. People envy that I have this job. I don't think I'll ever give it up.
In Lincoln, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.
Brinegar usually spends 5 days at the lookout, then 1 day off. For some of the more remote towers, lookouts will be there throughout the summer. From healthcare to tax cuts 4 months out, it's no surprise we're seeing some attack ads. Coming up, we're fact-checking a pair attacking the Republican candidate for governor.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 530 News.
Welcome back. It's time for another segment of MTN's Political Ad Watch, in which we fact-check the contents of TV campaign ads in Montana's top statewide races for 2020.
Tonight, MTN chief political reporter Mike Dennison looks at a pair of ads attacking Republican gubernatorial candidate Greg Gianforte.
The ads are from a group financed by the Democratic Governors Association, which, of course, backs Democratic candidate Mike Cooney in the governor's race. The first ad, which began airing earlier this month, slams Gianforte for his alleged support of a failed health care bill, certain tax cuts, and a sales tax.
Gianforte praised a bill that would cut our health care, but give him nearly $800,000 in tax breaks. Gianforte pushed for a tax cut for rich people like him, giving himself $3 million. But he pushed a big sales tax for Montana.
The bill he supposedly praised in May of 2017 was congressional Republicans' attempt to repeal parts of the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare. The bill ultimately failed in the U.S. Senate. In a conversation with lobbyists after the bill's passage, Gianforte spoke positively about its passage and efforts to repeal the ACA. But he later told MTN News he would have voted against the bill because he wasn't convinced it would protect rural health care or bring down costs. Also, the bill did cut health care-related taxes on rich people. But for Gianforte, in future years, the impact would have been a lot less than $800,000 a year. The second claim is about state income tax reductions passed 17 years ago that included a credit for capital gains income. Gianforte was a private citizen then and had spoken in favor of reducing state income taxes. In the past 10 years, that credit saved Gianforte about $2.7 million. Finally, the sales tax claim. Yes, Gianforte did speak favorably of one 18 years ago at the meeting of a tax reform council in Helena. But in his campaigns for governor this year and in 2016, he said he opposes a sales tax. The second ad goes after Gianforte on healthcare again.
Yet we could lose our health care because Greg Gianforte supported cuts to Medicare. Gianforte takes thousands in campaign cash from the healthcare industry, gives them billions in tax breaks.
The first claim refers to his vote in Congress in the fall of 2017 for a Republican budget resolution recommending steep cuts in federal spending, including Medicare. Yet those proposals were recommendations, not actual cuts, and largely procedural to help Republicans pass a tax cut bill. The tax break claim stems from Gianforte's vote for that 2017 tax cut bill, which cut taxes for all corporations doing business in the U.S. As you can see, some of these charges are generally accurate, but in most cases lacking context or exaggerated. The question for voters to decide is, what do these positions say about Gianforte as our next governor? Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
You can see Mike Dennison's full analysis of these ads on our website. Democratic gubernatorial candidate Mike Cooney released his economic plan for the state Thursday. It includes programs that he says will help workers, businesses, and Montana communities recover from the economic shocks of the coronavirus pandemic. Cooney unveiled the plan today alongside Whitney Williams, whom he defeated in the Democratic primary for governor. She praised Cooney's plan as one that would boost workers, families, and businesses. It includes a proposal to require companies getting state and other public contracts to hire at least 75% of their workers from Montana. It also calls for expansion of rural broadband, more funding to increase childcare, and training for workers in renewable energy. Republican gubernatorial candidate Greg Gianforte released his economic blueprint 2 weeks ago. He said he wants less government to clear the way for the private sector to grow. Cooney believes the government can play a crucial role in helping the economy bounce back from tough economic times.
In Cascade County, we have a number of deputies and civilians dedicated to the needs of the sheriff's office, and it's not every day that their dedication is recognized. So once a year, Cascade County Sheriff's Office honors the distinguished men and women who keep the sheriff's office operating. Today, around 24 honorees took the stage as Cascade County Sheriff Jesse Slaughter commended their exceptional work ethic and devotion. Civilians received awards for supporting the sheriff's office with endeavors like the K-9 program and the Use of Force Training House. Deputies were awarded for outstanding work in their areas of expertise and willingness to go above and beyond for the good of the office and the county. The ceremony also highlighted those in less visible positions of law enforcement, like Detention Officer Jacob McMay Hill.
It was a surprise to me to receive an award as a detention officer. It seems like a lot of people aren't paying attention to detention staff and what they're doing. So it's nice to be recognized.
And for a full list of the 2020 honorees, you can head to our website. Well, it's another beautiful, warm day in the Electric City. How warm will it get tomorrow and into the weekend? Elizabeth Copeland has the details coming up next.
Get Storm Tracker weather starts now with Chief Meteorologist Elizabeth Copeland.
Welcome back on this Thursday evening. We've got one more day to go in the work week, and it's not going to look as active as it does right now. We have a few thunderstorms building up across north central, northeast Montana, but if you notice, these are not moving around a lot. Very summer-like storms, a lot of moisture still left in the atmosphere, and the hot temperatures, that sun this afternoon, heating us up just enough to have some of those thunderstorms build, maybe move a mile or two, but not that mass movement we usually see with a lot of energy from a cold front. So these are just this pop-up afternoon thunderstorms, very typical for this time of summer, and we're still looking at a few of those thunderstorms that are producing some lightning, probably some gusty wind, especially just south of Havre on Highway 2. Havre probably seeing, or at least hearing, some of the thunder, seeing some of the lightning strikes off in the distance as that storm starts to inch closer to the city. Otherwise, we're just seeing a few showers out there, even across Glasgow and the northeast corner, where the Glasgow area is still seeing a few very light showers, but no thunderstorms at this time. Now, between those showers, we're still very warm. Havre at 99, but as that that shower moves in, those temperatures, I can bet you, will drop back down to the 80s, like in Lewistown, where we're only at 87 compared to the rest of north central Montana that haven't had the showers move over the city yet. That's why we're still holding steady in the low to mid 90s this afternoon. So a very warm day out there for us and very dry. So again, other than those showers moving through Lewistown, jumping those that relative humidity percentage up to 20, the rest of us are in the teens across north central Montana. Again, Havre, that will rise as that shower comes in just a minute here, but 17 degrees in Great Falls, that's very low, very dry air. And looking outside, there's not a lot of clouds. These are actually fair weather clouds. They're not building to cumulonimbus or producing rain or lightning just yet. U.S. Bank ICANN there in Great Falls showing some blue sky, and it looks just warm out there. It looks like a typical summer day you'd see in central Montana. 90 degrees right now, feeling like 89. Again, not too much moisture in the air, so expecting those storms to really start diminishing as a lot more of the dry air starts settling in as we head through the weekend. So high pressure is going to kick out some of those showers tonight. We're going to be left with a few clouds, though, especially across north central Montana and parts of the High Line. Other than that, though, again, the high pressure builds in tomorrow, kicking out most shower chances overall as you wake up tomorrow morning. A lot of us in north central Montana seeing that sunshine. A couple of clouds are going to escape through the northeast corner. High pressure is going to build in pretty strong. And central Montana, again, cloud free through the afternoon. We'll see a lot of sunshine. A few clouds are going to develop across the High Line and the Rocky Mountain front, but a few showers will escape through the northeast corner of the state, especially across Fort Peck. Otherwise, we stay clear and dry, and we'll have a few of those thunderstorms rock back in tomorrow evening through the afternoon hours, again producing that lightning and heavy rain at times. So between those thunderstorms, we're still going to stay very dry, still monitoring dry conditions across the High Line, where our drought monitor is showing dry conditions from Havre across Highway 2 closer to Glasgow. We'll be monitoring that for the next couple of days as that dry air really settles in our forecast. So for the next 3 days, we are in the 90s. That's very, very warm. Again, a few isolated showers and thunderstorms possible on Friday and Saturday, mostly for the High Line and northeast corner of the state. We're going to stay in the 90s in Great Falls through Monday afternoon before finally getting some relief from that heat as winds start shifting from the southwest to the west. We get that cooler Pacific Northwest air as we go from the 80s this weekend from Helena to the 90s on Sunday and then back down to the low 80s next week.
Still ahead, we take you out to Centene Stadium where players hit the field for Legion baseball. Stay with us.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 530 News.
Well, despite the many obstacles of playing sports during the COVID-19 pandemic, Legion baseball teams in Montana have made it to the postseason.
That means MTN's Tom Wiley was able to cover a live sporting event for the first time in 136 days. He joins us from Centene Stadium.
It's been a very unusual season of baseball at Centene Stadium. No Voyagers or minor league ball, but there has been a full Legion season that's wrapping up today with the Northern A District Championship between two rival teams, Havre and Lewistown.
Redbirds need one win, North Stars need two. Top of the first we go, Havre jumps out in front. Ethan Carlson with a shot to shallow left. That drives in a run. North Stars played 3 in the inning. In the second, wild sequence here. Caden Jenkins, another sharp grounder to short, but the throw to first is off the mark. 2 runs will cross, and then another error at third allows Jenkins to score. How about 6-1 Havre? But Lewistown would settle in. Nolan Fry back to the warning track. That pushes a run across, cuts the lead in half. More Redbirds later in the game. Xander Flick chops one to short. Check out the effort from Luke Clinton to beat the tag at home for another run, and Lewistown completes the comeback 7-6 for a district title. Pretty incredible just to be in this position after a roller coaster of a season.
Every day's a gift. We didn't know if we were going to get a week of baseball, a month of baseball. So to be at the position where we're 1 week away from completing the state tournament, that's amazing. I mean,
one thing Scott, our head coach, said every day, you come out here, give everything you got because you don't know if you have it tomorrow. Be able to come out here and play in front of the fans and on the field, the biggest blessing we can ever have had, and we greatly appreciate it. So.
Tom Wiley, MTN News.
There are usually 7 teams in the Northern District, but the 3 Canadian teams were not permitted to play this season. Both the Redbirds and the North Stars will compete at the state Class A tournament next week in Lewistown.
The pool area at Great Falls High School got an upgrade this summer. It was thanks to an anonymous $20,000 donation to the Great Falls Public Schools Foundation. The upgrades include new shower towers and new plumbing for the suit dryers in the boys and girls locker rooms. The area sees heavy use from both Great Falls High and CMR swim teams, as well as numerous other groups. Pool manager and swimming teacher Bob Stingley says the upgrades complete a revitalization effort that's been ongoing for the past few years, including new lights and paint in the pool area. He hopes it can strengthen the case for Great Falls to host the state swim meet every year. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Thunderstorms possible for the northeast corner later on Friday afternoon. The rest of us staying dry as that high pressure moves in. We'll hold steady in the 90s through next Monday before finally seeing some relief from that hot air as cooler air from the west moves in and temperatures drop to the mid to low 80s on Tuesday.
All right, thanks Elizabeth, and thank you for tuning in to the news at 5:30. We'll see you back here tonight at 10.